Welcome to the Spiky Terror Show. I'm your host, Spiky Terror, and today I'm joined by Mikey Vera. Mikey Vera. And apparently people have questions for you.
Yeah, first off, I want to say thank you to all of you for submitting questions.
Please
I really do
don't
appreciate
interrupt.
it.
This is my show.
Okay, I don't need this. I'm out of here. Give us a like while the intro plays. I don't know what's going on. I told you this was going to be tough. But
Welcome back to the Spiky Terror Show. So Mikey has left the building. I did have my people call his people and he agreed to answer questions via satellite. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ask these questions, okay? Your teeth are so white. How do you keep them white? What's your routine?
Well, first off, thank you. Secondly, I don't deserve the teeth that I have. I've been terrible to them. Like, I smoked for 15 years. I drink coffee, I drink soda, I eat sweets and desserts and all that stuff you're not supposed to do. I do it all, so I don't deserve them. So when I say thank you, it's more thank you to my parents, because I'm sure DNA has a part to play. Also, I grew up in New York City, and I have noticed that a lot of folks from the inner city of New York, they tend to have good teeth. You know, we've been told that the water in New York is great, and so that probably has a lot to do with it as well. But I'm going to share a secret with you guys. This is something I'm not proud of, but it is true. I haven't been to the dentist since 1998, and that was only because I had to go for my separation physical when I got out of the military. I know, save it. I've heard it all. I know that I'm supposed to go, and it's not because I'm scared. I'm just freaking lazy when it comes to that, but I do know that I have to go. But in the meantime, for me, it's just kind of like, okay, until I go, I have to make sure that I take good care of my teeth in any way possible, outside of all the crazy stuff that I'm doing to them. So to share my routine, because I think that was the point of the original question, here goes. I start off every morning, like most people do, I hope, by flossing. So here's the floss. Let's do this. Sexy, huh? Okay, the next thing that I do, I make my own concoction that kind of starts with some mouthwash. I usually go for a whitening that's alcohol-free, and then I will cut that with some hydrogen peroxide, and then I also cut that with some water. Now, not cold, it's somewhere between warm and hot. Obviously, you don't want to burn yourself, but I try to go for as warm as possible, just because like you wash your white clothes in warm, hot water, so why not your teeth, right? So that's what I'm going for. I do have to give a quick disclaimer with the hydrogen peroxide, because my niece is a dental assistant, and she says that, she told me that people can get like black hairy tongue. I think that's the name of it, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's something to where your tongue will turn black from using too much hydrogen peroxide. And I looked it up. It's legit. Look it up yourself. It does exist. But for me, I don't know if it's just the amounts that I'm using or just the strength of my tongue or whatever the case is, but I had been doing this for years and years. And so even though it is true, I have to put that disclaimer up there. I'm still following my pattern or my process because it's still working for me. So I'm not endorsing this. I'm just, you asked me and I'm gonna give you the answer. So that's what I do. Let's go through this as well. So we will start off with the mouthwash. Obviously, the last thing that all of us should be doing is brushing our teeth, and for me, it's nothing crazy. Colgate, you know. I will go through this with you as well, but there's nothing special about this, except, wait a minute, now that I think about it, so I brush my teeth. Y'all, I just realized that the visuals on that last part probably looked odd, but I wanted to stress two things. First thing that just popped into my head is that I do brush my teeth, and I also brush my tongue, because I also brush the sides of my cheeks. So yeah, this wasn't meant to be taken in any way, but just to show you guys that I do brush my entire mouth, not just the teeth. And so that's my entire routine. And I just do that once a day, again, because I don't know if too much is too bad, and I don't want to ruin what I have going on. I figure if it's working, I'm just going to keep on doing it until something goes awry.
Next question is, what do you see for the future of this channel?
The future of this channel, honestly, I do not know. You guys know it started off as a way to help myself out. Now I'm hopefully helping others out and just having a good time making videos. So as long as that continues, I'll just continue doing what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll grow however it's gonna grow. But if I had to, like in my wildest dreams, where do I see this leading up to?
Okay, so Michael, we have this show,
Yes.
and it's called Quoted By. So I just wondered, what is a quote that you live by?
So many that come to mind, but if I have to pick a favorite, it would have to be, life is like a box of chocolates. I mean, first off, it includes Tom Hanks, and secondly, it includes chocolate. And what's better than that, right? Okay, and so you speak English, you speak Spanish, you speak sign language. Any other languages?
Well, first off, to clarify, I speak a version of English. I'll say that. I speak a little Spanish, and as far as another language, and sign language, yeah, just a few things. As far as any other language, I speak un peu de français, like just a little bit of French. And you know, I learned it in high school. My French teacher was amazing. It got to the point where we would have conversational French all the time, just she and I. I was a teacher's pet with her, so we spoke a lot, and I spoke it well. But you know, time goes on, and you don't use it, so you lose it. And so I say now I speak survival French. So I've been to Paris and to Montreal, and in both cities, it's kind of like I keep going at it until I get it right. So I remember being in Paris at the train station and wanting to ask for a subway ticket, and I kept saying, je voudrais un billet pour tous les jours. And I realized now I was saying for like every day. So of course she was looking at me like, are you okay? What I meant to say like an all-day ticket. But that was like confusing me. The translation from American English to French threw me off. Finally, you know, I was able to say it correctly. I got my ticket, and that was kind of like how I spent my time in both cities and other places. I've been to St. Martin as well, but yeah, I just keep going. I cannot no longer have a conversation in French, but if need be, I can get by. I'll make myself get by one way or another.
What is your favorite dessert?
My favorite dessert? Oh my gosh, that is like Sophie's Choice. I wouldn't even know where to begin on how to pick one. I love dessert so much. I definitely have a sweet tooth. I will say that I tend to stay away from like the grocery store boxed items. I prefer things that are freshly made at a bakery, except for every once in a while, I just want like a Nutty Buddy or something like that. But if I have to pick one, for me, because I love them so much, I'm gonna go with things that are more traditional to my culture because I grew up eating them, and so they mean something more to me than just the flavor. They're so delicious that I've actually made them myself, and like I said before, you don't want me in the kitchen, but I will say these two examples were great. One time I made a flan. If you guys are familiar with that, it's a custard. A lot of Latin countries make it. So Puerto Rico, Mexico, Spain, it's French, you know, it's a custard. So a lot of countries make it. Another one that I did was a pina colada cake. Now that one, I started off with a box cake mix, but I kind of added my own stuff. So I did put rum into it, a Malibu. So is that pineapple coconut rum, I think? But I put some Malibu rum into it. I used the pineapple juice instead of water. Like I just put all of these things that would make it mine, make it unique to me, and pistachios, because I love pistachios. And I love tropical fruits. So guava, pineapple, coconut, banana, any type of dessert that has any of that stuff in it, that would be my favorite dessert, for sure.
You've lived on the East Coast and the West Coast. Which one do you prefer, East or West?
Okay, I don't want this to be a long-winded, boring answer, but some of you guys know this. I lived out West for 6 years. I ended up moving back to the East Coast for, you know, job and some other things. But now that I'm in Maryland, at first I have to say I love Maryland. It's actually a great state. I never would have thought about moving here, but now that I'm here, it's actually, I really like it a lot. But you know, back in 2011 when I visited Arizona for the first time, I just felt connected to the desert, to the soil, to the, I don't know, just something about that environment called out to me so much that was my goal. And I ended up reaching my goal, but things happened and I wanted to advance in my career and all this other stuff. So long story short, I'm here in Maryland realizing that my home is out west. So I'm at least going to be making one more move to get back out west, but I know that my heart is in that landscape. So Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, doesn't really matter, but I do know that that lifestyle, that I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. If you guys have been there, you know what I'm talking about, but it's different, at least for me, and it made me feel different, and I love it and I miss it. And because of that, when you ask me which one I prefer, it is the West. I prefer the West. For the short amount of time that you were here, you smelled pretty good. So do you wear cologne? Do I wear cologne? Not as often as I used to. Before it was an everyday thing. Now it's just kind of like, if I'm going out to a dinner, to a special event, I'll throw some on. But I still love cologne, always have, always will. Quick story, when I worked for Nordstrom in the men's furnishings department, there were a couple of items that a lot of the other salespeople were afraid to tackle, cologne being one of them, because it was such a hard sell. But for me, it came super easy. I loved explaining colognes, the top, middle, bottom notes. I loved learning about them and actually matching a person to their correct scent. So I did extremely well with colognes. And for me, myself, I tend to gravitate towards like the muskier, woodsy type of scents. And so I'm just going to share a few of my favorites throughout the years, because of course I still collect some. It's not as large as it used to be, but I'll show you what I have left. This is Givenchy. I have a few of Givenchy. This is very irresistible. This is a good one, very good. One of my favorites, Kenneth Cole. I love Kenneth Cole as well, but this is RSVP. This is a really good one. Both of those are more like in the woodsy musk family. This one is more in the oriental family, which I'm not usually a fan of, but this is Hanemori. As you can tell, I do love this one. There's not much left, but it is that oriental scent. It's a well-balanced, I don't know, it's not too strong, it's not too much, it's a perfect amount. Next, another Givenchy. This is Play Intense. That's the more woodsier, muskier version of that. So you want that if you like woodsy and musky. Another one that I use, like, this is one that I would wear to work often. It's like more of a, again, in the same family, but not as strong. This is Dior Sauvage. I know it's a popular one. I still see commercials for this one all over the place. And it is because it's a great scent to wear every day. People will not get sick of it, and you will get complimented on it all the time. Trust me, I did. Another one, which is kind of odd for me to like, John Verados. This is Dark Rebel, but the scent is just, oh man, it is a sexy scent. Another, just like a daily go-to that I would wear often is Kenneth Cole. This is Vintage Black. You know, it isn't too strong. It's something you can put on in the morning and it'll last you all day, and it isn't overpowering. It doesn't matter that it's a more of a nighttime. It kind of fits in with any time of the day, actually. The next one here is Giorgio Armani. I think this is Intense. That's another, there's not much left in this one. I wear that one out too. The next one is, this is a strong one. This is Spice Bomb from Victor and Wolf, right? Victor and Wolf, yeah. This one is super, super strong. Like, you don't want to put too much of this on. It's very powerful, and it can be, there's a thin line, you know, but if you can figure that out, you know, just not too many, not too much, just a little dab. It is one of those scents that people will say, what are you wearing? Like, yes, all the time. But again, not too much. Another one of my all-time favorites is another Calvin Klein, and this is Euphoria for Men. This is a fantastic scent. My favorite go-to, like, daily cologne that I wore all the time was Kenneth Cole Reaction. It is the opposite of these. It is more of a, I would say more of a, like a fresh kind of scent. Don't have any of that anymore, but that one, I would say out of all of my colognes, I wore the most, and that's why I don't have any. It was a great all day, the best one that I love. So I did wear it all the time. Now, the last one that I want to share with y'all is a throwback. This one here, this is Christian Dior Fahrenheit. This is an old one. I don't think it's probably, yeah, it's from a different time. I don't think anyone's wearing that anymore, but I will say that was my club cologne. I wore that all the time before I went out, and it was my lucky cologne. Like, I'm just being honest with y'all. Like, that was the one. Whenever I wore that, I knew that people were going to want to be close to me, and so I wore it all the time. So yeah, that's what remains of my collection. I had a lot more, but like I said, I'm not really into it as much, but I still keep my OD but goodies.
This is a good one. Do you still speak to your parents?
Short answer is no. I don't speak to anyone in my family, and I know it sucks. I know time is short and you don't want any regrets, and I'm totally aware of that stuff. But for my own personal situation, there's still a lot of toxicity in my family, and I don't want to get into like current details. That's not my thing. But what I will say is that the door is never fully closed. But each time I've peeked out, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we're not there yet. Especially with my parents, they are not there yet. They're kind of still stuck, and I can't be stuck with them anymore. Like, I've done too much work on myself, and I've grown so much, and I do want healthy, positive, and I want that environment for myself. And if you can't give that, if you're just going to drag me back into a version of myself that I couldn't stand, that I didn't love, I can't let you do that. So yeah, I love my parents. I love my family. I wish them all well. I do. And again, the door is never shut. So hopefully there will be a day where maybe we can turn things around.
Late at night when you're visiting the adult websites, what do you type in the search bar? Be honest.
What do I search for when I visit adult websites? That's a personal question, but like I said, I'm an open book. So I have my iPad, which I use when I'm visiting those types of sites, and I'll just open up, I'm sure I've closed out the last session, hopefully. So we will start from the beginning, and yeah, oh, wait a minute. Wait, the frame is frozen. Why won't the frame move? The frame is frozen. Oh no. I'm kidding. If you didn't see that, you're going to have to rewind and see that. But I will say, it's just a joke. If anyone knows me, you know that I am afraid of clowns, so I want nothing to do with them. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I search for, but I will say this. I am a total romantic, even when it comes to that. So I'm not the type of person that's going to watch an action scene from the beginning. I do like a story. I like a plot. I like one where the acting, you're not going to get great acting, but somewhat believable acting. Like, if you can give me that, and if it goes around oh my gosh, we shouldn't be doing this type of scene, then that's what I go for.
Do you want kids?
Kids? No. Never had any desire to have kids. Maybe it's because I grew up so effed up that I thought I just need to work on myself, and why bring someone else into this world. But yeah, I never had any desire, not yesterday, today, I doubt tomorrow, that I would ever want kids. But I'm not anti-kids. Actually the thought of dating someone who maybe had kids, that wouldn't have turned me off ever. I never would have been against it. And actually seeing a father with their child is something that to me is it's a turn on. It's a great thing to see. So would I have dated someone who had kids? Absolutely. But just having kids for myself, having that thing of spreading my seed and yeah, I just never had any desire for that. And I don't necessarily want kids, but I'm not anti-kids, even though they kind of freak me out just a little bit, just being honest.
Tell us about your partner. How did you meet him? What does he think of this channel?
So to answer that one, we're gonna need to take a little bit of a trip, okay? So just follow me. Okay, I'm on my way. Okay guys, I think I'm far enough away. I'm just gonna take a few more steps here. So this video is going to be about why I don't make videos about my partner. Early on, when I told him that I was making this channel, the first words out of his mouth was, "You're not talking about me, are you?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I wouldn't, even if you were okay with it." And of course he was like, "Wait, why not?" And so here's why. As y'all know, my channel is about me being open, honest, authentic, and being real and giving as much detail as possible. That's the only way that I can do it. And just, I think for myself, for my relationship, that's something that should be separate. Because no one wants your current relationship to be all out there in the open. I don't think that's healthy. And you see so many examples with famous couples and how that ends up for them. So I just don't want that to be my situation. I think it's just best to keep it separate. So I think I've mentioned him a couple of times, and I know that I answer you guys whenever you ask me, but that's kind of like really the reason. I just want to keep it separate. I think it's the best thing for our relationship, for any relationship, to be honest with you. So I have to drive all the way back home, but anything for y'all. Bye.
What do you do for work? What's your career? You know, every time I tell people what I do, they seem to be amused and surprised. But on paper, if you look at my job description, I am a librarian. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm a librarian, but I'm also a government contractor and I have clearances. So I am a special type of librarian.
We're the librarians.
Really?
Yep, you got it.
Okay. The librarian.
What makes you smile? Okay, so I wanted to answer this with like specific things that make me smile. First off, and some of you guys know this already, but I love a good jacuzzi with a drink at night, looking at the stars. That's always been my favorite thing. It makes me happy and it makes me smile. Another thing is just watching a sunset or sunrise. I love the orange, especially with the desert landscape, as I mentioned before. That's like, I love that stuff. Another thing that makes me smile is watching videos with like animals, just like being animals, and you know, pets nuzzling and just cuddling with people, and just chihuahuas and min pins are like kind of like my favorite. I just love watching those. Let's see, what else is there? One of the things that just really gets me is watching people who can't dance.
Do you want to dance? I'm a terrible dancer. I can't.
I find it so freaking cute, and I can watch it all day. So if you can't dance, dance anyway. Oh my God, it's so cute. Everyone has what's your guilty pleasure? Okay, so usually when someone's asked about your guilty pleasures, you'll name off like TV shows. They're like, ooh, I can't believe you watch this, or music. I can't believe you listen to that. And me, I have no shame in my game. You guys know I watch Ridiculousness and Catfish and 90 Day Fiancé, Married at First Sight, Real Housewives of wherever. As far as music goes, I will plop Madonna or Whitney Houston or Britney Spears or Cher, or like, I do not care. And that's the thing with guilty pleasure, it should be something that you feel guilty about, that's kind of odd or awkward, or maybe you're just a little bit embarrassed about. So I'm gonna give you something like that. Okay, so something that I've loved to do for years is look up people online. And not just like, you know, most people, it's like, oh, someone you're dating. No, I will look up coworkers. I will look up just a random person who walks by. If I get your name, I will look you up and try to find you. And so here's the little secret part of me. I look up my subscribers. So yeah, you guys, if I see your name, if you give me your name, I will look you up and try to find you. And here's the thing, I'm not necessarily that I'm stalking you, not really, but especially if you're engaging with me, I'm engaging with you. I would like to know what you look like. I'd like to know if you do have like a Facebook page. Do you have a mirror above your bed? Okay, and the last question is, do I have a mirror on the ceiling of my bed? No, I definitely do not. I shouldn't be making this video because I just moisturized my hands, but I wanted to show you, no, there is ceiling, like in my bedroom? No, I would never. Oh no. Okay, so I want to thank Mikey Vera for joining us today. It's been exciting. It's been a moment for real. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you for joining us and have a good night. What a freaking diva this dude is, I swear. I'll never ever, don't ever book him again.